The wooden chair on the porch. In a quiet countryside town in Vermont, there lived an old man named Walter, well into his 70s. He lived alone in a weathered wooden house beside a maple forest. The house was small, its roof faded with time, and its creaky floorboards told stories of the past. But to Walter, it was a sacred space, holding memories of his late wife and the years spent raising 2 children who had long since moved away. Every morning, Walter would sit on a wooden chair on his porch, quietly watching the mist roll over the hills. With a warm cup of coffee in his hands, he breathed in the still air as though he were sipping the scent of his youth. He wasn't rich, nor strong enough to work anymore, but he had a habit of preparing toasted bread and milk every week. He would leave them at the end of the forest path, where the homeless sometimes wandered, seeking shelter. Nobody asked him to do it. He did it because of something his wife used to say. "Walter, if you can help someone without hurting yourself, don't hesitate. Every kind act is a seed planted in good soil." One cold winter morning, while snowflakes danced in the wind and the air bit at his skin, Walter heard a knock at the door. It wasn't loud or urgent, just a faint, weary tapping. He opened the door and found a young man, maybe 30 years old, shivering in tattered clothes, lips blue, eyes hollow. I'm sorry," the man whispered. "I just need a little water and maybe a place to sit just for a while." Walter didn't ask why or where he came from. He simply opened the door wider, brewed a cup of hot tea, and wrapped the man in an old wool blanket. The stranger said little, just sat trembling by the fire. After some time, he spoke hesitantly. "I used to have it all, a wife, a child, a home. But then came the accident, then the drinking, and I lost everything. I walked all night because I had nowhere else to go." Walter didn't judge. He only replied softly, "I lost someone too. My wife of 42 years. There were days I didn't want to go on, but I remembered what she told me. Don't let grief make you forget how to be kind." They sat together the whole morning, exchanging more silence than words. When the young man stood to leave, Walter slipped a folded paper into his hand. Not money, but an address. "There's a shelter in town run by a friend of mine. Just tell them Walter sent you." The man's eyes welled up. "Why would you help me? I am nobody." Walter gave a gentle smile, his old eyes shining behind thick glasses. "Because once I was nobody too, until someone helped me stand again." 2 weeks later, Walter received a letter in the mail. No name, just a short note. "Thank you. I've been accepted into a recovery program. Someday, I'll be the one leaving bread at the forest road, just like you. She." Walter sat on his old wooden chair, the letter resting on his lap. The snow kept falling, but something in him felt warm again. He looked up toward the gray sky, as if speaking to his late wife. "See, love, you were right. Every kind act is a seed, and I'm still planting every day."